What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Talk Reviews episode 201. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about the Olympic rosters for Finland, and we're going to compare them between their Four Nations roster and their Olympic roster. So let's get straight into it. All right, this is the last episode of a four-part series. We took the U.S., Canada, Sweden, and now Finland. We looked back at all of the Four Nations rosters, their performances. Did their team look better at the Four Nations than what is predicted based off of the rosters at the Olympics? Plus, we also took a look at my predicted rosters back in February when I made these episodes and to see how well I did with my predictions. So far, so good. I've done pretty well with the U.S. I did pretty damn well with Canada as well. Sweden, a little shaky, but a couple of adds that I'm definitely okay with not being added to that team. And now we're heading to the last one, Finland. So we'll start off with just the Olympic roster. Plus, also, I'm wearing a Carolina Hurricanes jersey because I don't have anything Finland related, especially not colors-wise. But Sebastian Aho, obviously, is the first person I think of when it comes to Carolina. And he's a Finnish player. He's on the Olympic team, so we're going to be wearing Carolina to represent Finland today. So let's head into the Olympic roster right now. Forwards, they have Armia, Aho, Granlund, Halla, Hintz, Kakko, Kapanen, Kiviranta, Lehkonen, Lundell, Luostarinen, Rantanen, Teravainen, Tolvanen. For defense, we got Heiskanen, Yukihiro, Lotinen. Hopefully I said that right. A non-NHL player, if you could tell. Lindell, Mata, Mantipalo, Mikkola, and Ristolainen. For goalies, we got Lankinen, Luostarinen, and Saros. Now, goalies did not change between the Four Nations roster and this one. The NHL, the non-NHL defense, obviously was not on that Four Nations team. Heiskanen should have been on that team, but due to injury, he wasn't, so he got added, and he was a different ad there. Kapanen and Kiviranta were also ads. Not really sure how they're going to fit in the lineup right now, but we'll see how that works out. Obviously, one was added because of not having Barkov in the lineup due to the fact that he's pretty much done all season long due to a preseason injury for him. So let's look at my predicted rosters for Finland. I got about 73% correct looking back at it. A couple ads that I was actually very happy about. Kakko and Ristolainen, keeping them in the lineup, I think was very good, and something that some people were kind of questioning, but I really like that ad. So good there. The ones I left off, though, from the Olympic roster, Armia, Kapanen, Kiviranta, Tolvanen, obviously the overseas player, and Mantipalo. I'm okay with not leaving them on at first, but I'm also okay that they got added. I don't think they're really question marks and kind of like, whoa, that's earth-shattering, crazy picks for Finland. Ones I did add, though, that did not make it. Kasperi Kapanen, I think that was a hot take one. I thought maybe he'd do something crazy during this season to get him included to this team. That was not the case. Patrick Laine, not really doing there. Barkov obviously is injured, so that's a tough miss on my case, but I think everybody would agree Barkov would be on this team, probably be the captain once again of the Olympic team. Jani Hakanpää was a guy that I thought bringing some physicality to this team. I could see him doing pretty well in that lineup. Unfortunately, he is not announced. And then obviously, I needed some other defense. I went with an overseas player in Lassie Thompson. Unfortunately, he was not one that got picked up. They went with Lankinen. I think Thompson is a good player. Looking at his numbers, he was very good. And that was definitely my shot in the dark as potentially added to the lineup. But at least I was right with at least getting one overseas player onto this roster for Finland. Now, according to ESPN, they had a bunch of snubs list. Honestly, there wasn't a lot for Finland. Matthias Michelli, I think, could be in this lineup. I think him over Kapanen. I would take Michelli. Atu Radi, I'm okay not having in this lineup. Eero Vakinainen, I could see him over the overseas guy, but the overseas guy is young, so maybe they're thinking he's going to be part of the next couple of teams for Finland. And Vakinainen is just not as good when it comes to defense as a whole compared to some of these other guys, so I'm okay with Vakinainen not making this. So honestly, there's not really much more to talk about. So do I think this roster is better than the Four Nations roster, or do I think the Four Nations roster is better than this? Taking a overview look, goalies are the exact same. I guessed it correctly. The Four Nations one is the same as the Olympic roster, so obviously you can't compare those. The defense, I think, got a little bit better just bringing in Heiskanen. I think Heiskanen matters that much to this Finland team and his defense core in Dallas. Having him in this Finland team makes them better. Offense, I think, got a tad worse with Kirjanta and Kapanen, and not having like Laine and Barkov in there. So it's the kind of thing where, man, you could go either way with this, but I think I'm going to take the Olympic roster due to the fact that the goalies are the same and the defense gets better. Defense wins championships, offense wins games. I think the offense could sneak a couple games in. I think the goalies could steal a couple games with Saros or Luukkonen. I think Lankkonen's the third guy in there. And I think the defense is very good. I think there's not a lot of options, but I think it's actually going to be underrated good for Finland. So watch out for their defense core with Heiskanen leading the way. All right, guys, that'll do it for 4 episodes, 4 of 4, looking at the top 4 teams from the Four Nations, what they did with their Olympic rosters. Is it better? Is it worse? And my predicted rosters reacting to all that. So, all right, so that would do it for this episode, though. 201 episodes in the books. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, the bell icon. We'll see you guys real soon.